Hello everybody, today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. Today Disney actually released a brand new thing over on Disney Plus. It's going to actually be a Simpsons short cartoon. It's only 4 minutes long, called May the 12th, a Disney Plus Mother's Day special. Today what we're going to do is we're going to go through and take a breakdown, or do a breakdown, of every single hidden character and different details that are found inside of this video. Let's get started. So the cartoon's going to start off with Marge getting inside of her car with a sign that's on top that says "Welcome Disney Moms." We find Dumbo here is actually pulling a carriage that looks like the one from Frozen. Inside that carriage, we've got the mother from Sleeping Beauty, Perdita, the dog from 101 Dalmatians, Mrs. Incredible holding on to Jack Jack, and Tiana's mom. Below them on the ground, we can find characters like Cinderella, along with the fairy godmother. Not her actual mother, but still a mother representation. We can also find Duchess along with her 3 kittens. With Mrs. Incredible up in the air, on the ground we have Dash along with Violet, and then Tiana, since her mother's above her. And then we have Mulan and her mother, along with Sleeping Beauty. Again, her mom is up in the cart. And then to the right of that, we have Miguel from Coco, along with his mother, Joe Gardner from Soul and his mother. And then on the far right-hand side, we can also find Moana, Mother Gothel with Rapunzel, and Rapunzel's actual mother. We can also find on the ground there Pongo, along with a few of the puppies. Once we get inside of the car, we can find Bambi along with Bambi's mother there. Bambi's mother clearly has some pretty clear issues from her hunting incident in the past. In the backseat, we can also find Tweedledee and Tweedledum, always having lots of fun. This is also going to be one of our first times where we don't have a mother reference there. We're going to get to a few more of these as we go through. We also have Bao, the little bun from the short cartoon that features a mother who makes the food and then it turns into her son. In addition to that, we also have Kanga in the background from Winnie the Pooh. We can also see the tops of Tiana and her mother, the fairy godmother Cinderella, Violet, Mrs. Incredible, and Sleeping Beauty's mother as well. In addition to that, you can also find Joe Gardner in the background there too. Right after the car does not start, we see Ahsoka. Ahsoka's appeared in several different Star Wars things like Star Wars Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, and of course she has her own series called Ahsoka as well. We have it so she comes and saves the day and everyone gets on board, including is Simba along with Sarabi, his mother. Again, we have Tiana and her mom there. We have Mulan followed behind by Rapunzel and her mother, and Kanga and Little Roo. In addition to that, we do have Cinderella and the fairy godmother, followed closely by Nani and Lilo from Lilo and Stitch, and then of course Bambi's mother as well. Right behind Bambi, we also have our second one that's not exactly a mother type thing, but this is going to be Elsa. As all these characters are walking on, we also have Judy Hopps and her mom getting on board as well. Just after that, we are on board the ship, and in the background of the ship, you can also find Anna there as well, in addition to Elsa and several other characters. Then the window opens up, and we see BB-8 fly out the window. We then see where they are going, which is going to be the Disney Playground Planet, where you must be this tall to enter, and then eventually they make their way to the parking lot. But on the way to the parking lot, we find Pongo, Perdita, and almost all of the puppies from the film. But in addition to that, you can also find Chili and Bingo from the Bluey television series. Just before they exit the thing, we can also find several other characters. In addition to Lilo, Dash, Violet, we can also see the characters like Eeyore, Mirabelle, May from Turning Red. We also have Ian Lightfoot and Burley Lightfoot from Onward. Dumbo's there again. We can also find on the right-hand side the mother from Turning Red and Miguel and Miguel's mother from Coco. We can also find Mrs. Lightfoot from Onward, Groot along with Little Groot, Tarzan and Kala, and again the fairy godmother and several other characters. But in the background we can find the old hag, aka Snow White's stepmother, who warns them about the Disney parking planet. We then go down to the planet where we see Mickey Mouse driving a land speeder. He also goes by Luke Skywalker's land speeder in the parking lot, and we see him park at Bob Iger's parking spot. As we get to the planet, we see all the different characters starting to approach the area Up above, we can find Dumbo. We can also find Goofy and his mother, Joe Gardner and his mother. We also see Mrs. Jumbo there. But the interesting thing is, if you take a look at the words there, they're written in Arabic, which is the Star Wars language. If you are a nerd like myself, you might take the time to translate it. And it says, "Welcome to Disney Playground Planet." But in addition to all those characters, we also have Groot, Baby Groot, Mulan, and several others, including Chili, Bingo, and Bluey, all from the hit television series Bluey. As the characters begin to approach the castle, yes, there is a castle here, we can also find Mrs. Potts and Chip going past the statue of Walt Disney, along with the aliens from the Simpsons television series, taking the place of Mickey Mouse. Then we see Darth Vader appear, and he warns them about how if rules are broken, death will be the penalty. After that, we find a long line. Inside this line, we can find characters like Ian Lightfoot, along with his mother, Mulan and her mother, Pongo Perdita and some of their puppies, Joe Gardner along with his mother. We can find Ember and her mother from Elemental. In addition to that, we can find Anna and Elsa, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and Miguel from Coco and his mother as well. When we get to the front of the line, we see Goofy at a stand trying to order ice cream from a spot that says 3,100 flavors. On here, we do have a list of some of the flavors, and they are all amazing little puns. We've got the Lion King, a reference to the Lion King, Chocolate Chip and Dale, Berry Poppins, Mangolorian, Cream Boat Willie, Huey, Chewy and Gooey, Thor Ragnarocky Road, Fruity and the Beast, Bluey Berry, Eggnogs and Spoonsticks, kind of like bed knobs and broomsticks, Finding Froyo, Disney on Ice Cream, I like that one a lot, Winnie the Peach, Wookiees and Cream, Obi Rum Kenobi, I Am Groot Beer, Carbs, Wreck-It, Then Ralph, these are great, Fudge Marvel Universe, Who Fudged Roger Rabbit, Frozen Yogurt, and Turning Red Velvet. Overall, amazing ones. Let me know in the comments, which ice cream flavor would you order? The next character we see is Sherry Bobbins, who is a play on Mary Poppins. It's from one of the Simpsons episodes that came out back in the 1990s. It's when I used to watch the show quite regularly, and that was one of my favorite episodes with Sherry Bobbins. We get to the point where we see a massive battle break out with all of these different Star Wars characters and Simpsons characters dressed as Jedi Knights. During the battle, we see a bunch of characters go past another door with a bunch of Arabic written around it. Again, I had to go through and translate what it says. It actually says, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day. They just needed to have enough words to say Happy Mother's Day twice. During the battle, we see Mrs. Jumbo, aka Dumbo's mother, just completely kicking some major butt out there. And then we get to the shot that I never knew I needed in my life, but I'm so happy because we see Ahsoka Tano light up a lightsaber, followed by Cinderella using a lightsaber, and then my favorite is Bambi's mother using a lightsaber as well. One of my favorite moments of the entire short. Eventually, Marge ruins the day. However, she does interact with Chewbacca, and in it, she invites everyone back to her house. When we get back to the house, we find Judy Hopson, her mother, Duchess and her kittens, some of the Dalmatians, Lilo, Nani. We can find Mirabelle, Isabel, and Louisa from Encanto. We can also find Bingo and Bluey there, and Joe Gardner, his mother, Anna and Elsa, along with Anna and Elsa's mother. This is going to be the first time in the short that we actually see the mother as well. Tarzan and Kala, Chewbacca and a Stormtrooper, Mrs. Incredible, along with all of her kids, and several other characters. Right after that, we do have Mrs. Goofy, Goofy's mother, walk by, along with Rapunzel, as we see the Cantina band from Star Wars there as well. We eventually get to a piñata shot, where some of the characters are playing with a piñata that looks like a Star Destroyer. In the shot, we can also find the old hag from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. We then find Coco playing Pin the Tail on the donkey, with the donkey actually being Eeyore. And then eventually we get to the Hulu on Disney Plus crowd, which features characters from Bob's Burgers and King of the Hill and Family Guy. When we get to the credits, we have a bunch of classic looking paintings featuring some amazing interactions between both Simpsons and Disney characters. The ones that we have featured here is Homer along with Dumbo and Mrs. Jumbo. We have Grandpa Simpson along with Chip and Mrs. Potts. We also have Kanga and Marge swapping kids, so Roo is with Marge and Maggie is with Kanga. Mrs. Incredible with Maggie, Jack, and a bunch of other Simpsons babies. And then probably one of my favorite shots in the entire show, which is Lady Tremaine, the Evil Queen, and Mother Gothel all standing outside the Simpsons house holding signs that says Disney unfair to stepmothers. We eventually have Eeyore pinning the tail on Homer. Also, I would like to point out that Eeyore also has a tail on him, so this is like just a bonus tail. Some of the characters that are laughing in the background are Simba, Miguel, Lilo, and Dash. And then finally we have Homer and Stewie over at Moe's Tavern. Overall, I think this is a great short cartoon. If you have a few minutes to spare, I highly recommend checking it out. I just always like when they have like these Simpsons and Disney movie crossovers where you can kind of have different characters hidden throughout the thing. Let me know if you found any characters that I might have missed. I'm sure I probably missed one or two while I was going through this. I only watched the episode one time so far. I'll probably go check it out a few more times tonight as well. But as always, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and we will see you once again tomorrow, and happy Mother's Day.